Okay. Wow. I am so bad at this. At least we didn't get 40 minutes into the episode. We got like 3 minutes into the episode, and I went, oh, wait, hold on. I've completely borked this. I'm sorry. All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages. It's episode 11 of the On the Button podcast. My name's Wes. I'm here with my buds Trey and Ian to talk about all kinds of things Star Wars Unlimited related. Guys, we're like 36 hours away from the start of the GC, the Galactic Champion, the very first Galactic Championships. That's going to be pretty awesome.
Yay!
Yeah, I can tell Trey's super excited. Ian, I know you are though. Like you
Super
like
jacked.
are you? I'm trying to figure out are you still building a deck? Are you packing all that stuff? What's going on in the background there?
I am building my Twin Suns deck. I chose to build it dead last. So when we're done with this, I will be building a Twin Suns deck and putting all my cards away for the first time since Twilight. They haven't been completely cleaned up since Twilight. So
do you enjoy doing that? Is that like a thing?
No,
or is
I
it just
hate
a
it.
chore?
I hate it. That's why I haven't done it for 3 sets.
All right.
I usually
save it
just
up.
shuffle out of piles. Like I remember I put Spark of the Rebellion in this pile or this card in this pile. So like I don't know, I have piles. I'm a pile guy.
It's almost like meditation for me. I enjoy just sitting down with a pile of cards and organizing and shuffling and not shuffling, but sleeving and putting away. Very, very zen-like.
So you get into that zen state, right? Just organizing. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Ian, you and I, you're a Vegas veteran. Like, are you going to spend more time playing?
Married in Vegas,
or
Wes.
I know, but are you going to spend more time doing Vegas or doing Star Wars?
So it's going to be depend on a couple of factors. The wife has plans almost every night now for me. We're having dinner with.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm seeing a Beyonce concert. We're seeing Fantastic Four while we're in town.
That's right. Thursday night. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
We're doing dinner with a friend now. So I'm pretty packed at the nights.
Okay.
And then how much Star Wars time I spend depends on how I'm doing in video poker, baby. Because if I'm winning, I'm playing.
You're going to be
not
out.
named anything that I would enjoy. Going to see Beyonce, going to see Fantastic Four. None of these are. I don't even want to do these here without having to go to Las Vegas.
The wife, Carolyn, is a huge Beyonce fan. She loves her new album.
Okay.
She tried to see her in Houston, but they were $500 for like a very cruddy ticket.
Wow.
So when
Sounds
she
like an
found
artist
out we
that
were
loves her
going,
fans right there.
yeah. I'm sure she's buying on resale market, so she gets what people are reselling for. But I guess Beyonce's doing her last 2 nights in Vegas, and my wife, we just happened to be there, and so she got tickets for $100. So unfortunately, she doesn't have a friend in the Las Vegas area that night that can pawn off that visit for me. But I'm sure I'll have a great time. Should be fun. Concerts are great.
We know she's
Don't they rent friends for the evening there?
Oh, I think that might actually be more expensive. Maybe if he does well enough at video poker. Maybe if the video poker goes really, really well. Maybe.
I will be at that concert before that happens.
Now we know that Beyonce's not playing the Sphere because that's the Backstreet Boys, like literally next door.
The stadium. She's in the Raiders football stadium. 18,000 people. That girl sells out like 3 times that amount.
What a terrible venue to have a concert. Football stadium, the acoustics in those places always suck.
Yeah,
I have
they
no
do.
idea.
Yeah.
They're never great. But,
well,
you know,
look at the bright side.
Maybe it'll be better. I've only seen like metal concerts in stadiums.
Okay.
So like the echoing of the loud screeching guitars isn't great. So maybe it'd be better in country music. I have no idea.
All right. Well, you're going to have a great time. It's Vegas, and there you go. And then somewhere along the way, we'll play some cards and try to win some loot because that's partly why we're going.
And some craps to win real money.
And some craps to win real money. That's true.
Yes.
So we're finally Trey's shaking his head like why are we even talking about this? What a waste of my time.
I just can't gamble. I can't take money out of my pocket, put it on the table, and like put it up for grabs. I mean, as long as it's proxied through cards, and I have something fun to do with cards while I do it. Not aces and spades cards, any like that stuff. It's got to be like I paid cards, and then I can go win some crappy promo card that I will do chances.
Did you ever play Magic the Gathering with the old ante rule, Trey?
Yeah, I did, and I hated it.
Okay, I'm just curious. Ian, you might not know about this. Have you heard of this before?
No.
So in the original, I believe it was in the original rule book for Magic the Gathering. Each player.
Book, hold on, I gotta say this. The rule book was the size. It was about 2 inches by 2 inches square.
Yeah,
it was about a quarter inch thick, and the print was maybe 3 millimeters a letter tall. It was this tiny rule book that came tucked down in the
box. Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
And in the rule book in the rules, each player was supposed to, at the start of the game, you would like shuffle your opponent's deck, or like you would shuffle your decks, and your opponent would cut it, and the card that they cut to, either the top card or the bottom card, one of the cards on that cut, would be put to the side. Theirs and yours, and those were anti cards. And whoever won the game got both cards. So every time you played a game of Magic, you were literally risking a card out of your deck to play. It was this, and of course,
the first set of cards, in the first set of couple of sets of cards of Magic cards, there are cards that say you can go swap out this card with the card in the ante. Like it referenced that pile of cards that were up for.
What grabs. Set did that? I forget. Go, Ian.
I played a little bit in Revised, but I was playing in junior high.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have enough money to put up cards. That's for sure.
Who did?
Nobody put up a card.
Who did?
Yeah.
What set was it they printed? Are you familiar with Chaos Orb, Ian?
No.
There was a card.
Alphabet Unlimited.
Yes, there was a card in Magic that literally said, when you play it, you pay this and you trigger this effect. Take the card, rip it up into little pieces, and sprinkle it over your opponent's board, and all the things that parts land on is destroyed, or something like that. It was ridiculous.
So the card was called Chaos Orb, and we've divested way from Shrew now. But
yeah, I know it was ridiculous.
The original one was like you have to flip this card in the air, and whatever land card it touches, that's destroyed.
That's what it was. But
there was a tournament.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
To prevent this, people started taping their cards to the walls that were sitting next to, so they wouldn't be touched by Chaos Orb.
It was so.
And then there was a tournament where it's apocryphal. I don't remember it actually happening. Told. Where the guy played Chaos Orb, activated it, and then he ripped it up into little pieces and destroyed his opponent's whole board.
Like confetti.
So then they have Magic produces joke sets which have a silver border on them that are things like take your shoes off and use these as +1/+1 counters, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Or if you can cheat this card into play, you get to keep it. That type of thing. And that had a card called Chaos Confetti that played into it.
Yes,
and
I remember Chaos Confetti. Anyway, all right, cool. We should get back talking about Swoosh. So again, GC's about to start, guys. What I want to hear. Right, we'll have a post episode later. But before the thing begins, I want to know your hot takes. They can be about anything. I want 3 hot take predictions for the event. And Trey, we're going to start with you because I just want to hear whatever it could be. It could be whatever, anything. It could be who's going to win, what's going to place, anything at all. What they're going to announce. I want to know. Tell me what are your hot takes?
Okay, so. I am of the opinion that there is a very small subset of people who have had these cards for like the final versions of these cards for months longer than the rest of us. And I think those people but based on the time, you're only going to get those cards and you're only going to have those if you are serious about putting in the work and going to play. And so it's not some schmo who hasn't done anything with the cards. I think they've put in all the work, and I think they have solved this entire metagame. And I think that they know how to beat Force Throw.
That is a bold prediction.
I think that they know. So my predictions are going to be 1, that Force Throw does not win this tournament. I think the deck that wins the tournament is going to be one that knows how to beat Force Throw.
Okay.
And 2, I think it's a deck nobody's seen yet that's going to be that way. You may have seen the leader, but it's not going to be one of the main. It's not going to be like a Kylo control. It's not going to be a Han 2 and something.
Okay.
It's not going to be one of these big decks that people are going in.
Okay.
And then for my third prediction, which has taken a bit of a hit in the last few minutes, about your technical abilities.
See what I mean?
But I think you save all of your technical faux pas for this podcast, because when you get it on stream and you start doing commentating, I think you do a masterful job, and everybody wishes they were like you. So my third prediction is that you are going to hear people say, I watched that. I wish you'd have covered it, Wes or C Raptor. I wish that had been you covering it because you would have done a better job.
Ian and you and I talked about a little of this driving back and forth to San Antonio on Saturday, right? We listened to some of the podcasts they finally announced who's going to be doing the commentary, right? I was familiar with Main Deck Dan. I've followed his YouTube channel for a while. He does a lot of good work over there. He's very knowledgeable about the game, but the other two gentlemen I had not heard of. And so I went and checked them out. We pulled down some of their podcasts, and Ian and I listened to them on the road. They're also very knowledgeable about the game and very well spoken. I think from a commentator perspective, they're going to be fine. I have no concerns or issues at all. They're going to be great. How do I want to phrase this? Concern, fear, the fear that I still have is that without knowing anything about who they've, how they're going to produce it, who have they hired? Are they doing the audio visual themselves internally, or have they farmed it out? We don't have an answer to any of these questions, so we don't know. They themselves have never done this for Unlimited. And let's be honest, if you go back and look at the work they did on Destiny and X-Wing, it's very hit and miss. So,
And that's what,
go.
So let me explain that. I don't think the secret sauce to your streams is the speaking that we do. I think that you do mostly that the rest of us pitch in with, and that's not a knock. I just don't think. I mean, I think we have pretty good personalities. I think we're not make fools of ourselves as we talk about these things. But I also don't think that's your secret sauce. I think the secret sauce that makes yours the one that people hold up as the standard is that you visually on the screen, present the game in a way that makes you able to follow it.
It's a visual medium.
Easily.
Yeah, it's a visual medium. If
right,
you're not,
but I
if
think
you're not nailing that, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. But
if you're a swoop player and you log into your stream, it's like watching any other sport. If you know the game, you instantly know where you're at. Each opponent has this much health left. These are the heroes they're playing. This is the turn we're in. This is their record. Like, you get all of that.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so great, is that it's like ESPN. You could bounce in and out, because I do it. I hope my boss isn't watching. I do it at work, right?
It's okay.
I'm cleaning animals. I'm doing dishes. Yeah. I'm working in the back room. I've got a game going, and I'm listening to a game. And what's great is I can just pick it up and drop it off. And that's what I love about it.
This is the conversation that I've been having with more and more people in the streaming space since Denver, right? Which is, at the end of the day, this is a visual medium. And you can only cover so much of the screen with the game board, okay? The game board is square. So even if you fill it max res full square, you have, another strips on either side, or you have at least a third of the screen left to fill up with something. Don't let it go to waste. Use it for something. What I've done is, of course, the little inset camera, the player cams, and flashing cards and leaders as they deploy and looking at things. And, to me, it's just more visually interesting because at the end of the day, it's a visual medium. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. I'll be honest. I reached a point where I'm more afraid for exactly what you're talking about, Trey, the visual presentation of it, than I am the commentary. I was worried about the commentary until they announced, oh, we got these guys to do it. Once I learned about them, I was like, okay, this is going to be fine. Now my fear is, okay, how's it going to look? And I don't know. We're going to have to find out. Okay, those are your three. Ian, what are your three hot takes? I want to know.
I'm not sure if I have 3 hot takes. But
you can come up with something. Come on.
So, I mean, it's not really a hot take, but there'll be a darling deck that shows up on stream that everybody falls in love with, like Giovanni's Yoda deck, or like that Leia Lake Country deck. There'll be some really strange deck that does phenomenal, right? And it will do phenomenal, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, it will get maybe favorable matchups, because that seems to happen. Okay. And the other is it will take down some sort of giant. Like, if Han 2 is doing really well in the field, it will dominate it on stream and make Han deck Han blue or green, whatever you're playing,
silly.
Just look silly.
Okay.
So there's gonna be some sort of deck out there that maybe doesn't win the whole thing, but slaps around a couple of the meta decks that people think are meta.
Okay.
I love Trey's hot take. I think he's right. I think somebody's gonna come out here. I think there's gonna be 3 or 4 decks from teams, right? From the team aspect, that are going to do phenomenal. I I don't know if they've had time with the cards extra, but there is some rumors that some of the teams have. But I think I think the teams are going to do really well because most of them have done pretty well in tournaments up to this point. So the teams are going to do fantastic.
Yep.
So I'm looking to see what the teams are playing on day 2, and that's going to kind of shape up, right? Like, has somebody already found it from day 1? And I think there'll be 1 or 2 day 1 players that make it into the finals.
Ooh.
Like, I don't think
you mean like the top cut, like the top 8, the top cut.
Yeah, okay. The top 8. There's going to be 1 or 2 people that sneak in because there's going to be people that, like, I'm going to use Big Trey there as an example, who are just really great card players. Not only are they playing the game, but they're kind of always a step ahead of you mentally when it comes to playing the chess of the game. And maybe they just haven't made it out to any of these big tournaments, right? Like, some of my favorite players in the Houston area are not coming because they've just had babies and stuff like that. Maybe they're coming off of just having babies and they can get away for this weekend. So I think that's one. And I'm really hoping that, I guess, the opposite of Trey. I'm hoping the coverage is good because I want to be able to watch it and like it. I'm going to be so disappointed if the coverage is bad, and I'm going to be super disappointed if the coverage is minimal. Like, if we're going to see, I don't know. I'm just worried that they're only going to cover the main event and nothing else is going to get covered.
That's my big fear. And I'll be honest, I mean, we don't know, right? Because again, why would they bother to announce a stream schedule? That would be silly.
No, don't worry about whether they're going to cover something other than the main event. They're not. That's all they're going to cover. There are no side events. There's no prize. They may talk about the prize wall, but you're going to get only main event coverage.
And go ahead.
Do you think they'll even do Friday coverage? Will they cover day 1?
No. So they've already. So if you go to their YouTube channel, there are streams like I do, pre-scheduled streams for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that all start. The start time's listed. You can set a little notify me reminder and all that stuff. You'll get a push notification on your phone and an email reminder. All that's there. But those only appeared like within the last week or so. But we have no idea, as you point out, Ian, what are they going to show, right? Like, are they going to show, like you, my presumption is they'll just showcase the main event and that's all we'll see.
Yeah.
And like you and I talked about on Monday night, just streaming out of the house.
But does that mean we're going to see the same 3 decks over and over again?
It's
Vader,
possible.
GTL, Young Han Blue, and some sort of.
It'll be Talzin. It's going to be Talzin Red. It's going to be Talzin Red. Talzin Red, I think, is the other big one that you're going to see a lot of. But my frustration is that there's so much more to showcase, and there are those of us out there. Yes, this is me kind of self-promoting a little bit, but like, why not let us come in and cover the very first trilogy tournament ever held in the world, or the very first sector qualifier of season 1, which is going to be held starting on Saturday and has prizing that's like, in terms of there's a lot, like, if you play 2 days and win 20,000 prize wall tickets.
It's almost as good as winning the main event.
It's almost as good as winning the main event, right? It's crazy the amount of prize wall tickets they're giving out at this thing. And so it's kind of like, but no one is going to see any of those events ever. And that's sad to me, because they could have been covered had FFG decided that they wanted to.
And even in the main event, the way that Wes, for the first 70% of the rounds, you just pick something interesting and to put up there. It doesn't have to be the people that are winning.
Yeah,
they'll just pick the people that are winning. So it'll be the top, whatever the top decks are that are sitting at the top tables will be what's on stream. So
it's possible.
If it's going to be a stagnant or a solved metagame has all the same decks, that's all you'll see all day.
Well, but it's possible. But you just said you thought the winning deck is something that we haven't seen. So then that's not.
That's not.
No, I'm talking Trey.
Most of the decks at the top.
Go ahead.
Most of the decks at the top will be the main ones that we all know about, and
yes,
you'll see them over and over. So it kind of locks the metagame in when the tournament starts. So the first round or the second round or the third round might show something incredibly exciting, but then we're going to see that if it's the one that's winning, we're going to see that deck over and over and over.
Okay. I'll give you mine.
Go ahead. I have one last prediction.
Go, bring it.
I will spend way too much money on side tickets, and my wife will be mad at me by because that will definitely happen. I will lose a lot of games and have to buy even more tickets, and FFG will be super happy with my poor play all day.
Could be. Let me think. What are mine? I think the winner of the whole thing, the final man standing or woman, the champion on Sunday, is going to be somebody who's already won a PQ. They're already a day 2 qualifier. I'm not saying people out of day 1 won't make the top cut. I personally think the person who wins the whole thing has already won a PQ. We see so many players routinely making top 8, at some of these events. Some of these guys have won multiple PQs, or you look at a guy like Ophir who went out and won won regionals in Minneapolis. Those kinds of people, they're consistent. They're consistently top finishers with good decks. They understand the back and forth, the push and pull, the chess match mechanics that make Unlimited what it is. The core of the game is there, and once you've got that down and understand it, and I think there's also some self-pressure, right, of playing at that level. And I think that until you've done a little bit of it, that maybe you're not accustomed to it. And I think having that prior experience works in your favor. So that's one. What else would I say? I think they're going to have launched the Saturday qualifier, the Galactic Open, they're calling it, right? And we will still not know the point system for season 1. Personal opinion. I think those guys will be playing in the event before we ever find out how the season 1 point system is going to work. Personal opinion. I don't know why.
Personal opinion. Does it really matter? I'll never have enough points.
Well, but that's not the point, right? I'm so frustrated at the information for the single biggest event in the history of the game has come out in dribs and drabs. Some of it not even announced when it happens. Some of it still hasn't, we still don't have a stream schedule, right? Starting here, doing this. We're going to showcase this. Somebody was asking the other day, are they going to be streaming any of the panels? And the answer was, well, of course not. No. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you? Right? Why wouldn't you at least film them or have a second stream set up in your big panel areas and stream the panels? Why not? It's not hard. It's easy to do. I don't know. But the bottom line is that I'm just...
I actually have one more.
Oh,
so
okay.
You kind of dropped this on us, and that was off the top of my head. But
Okay.
I actually have been stewing on something for the last 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And this plays into something that we've talked about before, and I think this is going to make you really happy that I'm kind of on your side now.
Okay.
I think the winning deck is going to be absolutely hard control, and I think that the top cut is going to be almost exclusively hard control, and it's going to be incredibly boring to watch these blue X decks just sit there and play almost nothing until it's going to be like watching the Age of Magic when everybody wanted to just counterspell everything all day long.
Yeah.
Because I think I've spent a lot of time with the cards over the last week, and I've spent a lot of time on Karabast watching people play and kind of analyzing not just what's winning and what's beating me or what I'm beating people with, but kind of how it goes. Mm-hmm. And I think that they have printed enough cards that are just murder your guy. Mm-hmm. And there are so few ways there's no real way to accelerate an aggressive deck past drop a guy, drop one turn, drop a guy next turn, drop a guy next turn. I think hard control you drop a guy, I kill it. You drop a guy, I kill it. You drop a guy, I kill it. It's a very, very difficult, and I don't even know if it's possible to outpace removal in this game right now.
So you
There's
think
too many pieces of control.
You think everybody's going to get Avenger walked?
More or less.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's not going to be a Sabine. Sabine is too slow now.
Yeah.
I mean, Sabine isn't
Sabine
fast
didn't pick
enough.
up enough cards.
There's not the classic way to beat murder that guy is fine. I played 2 guys and you murdered one of them, and then next turn you play murder that guy. Fine, I played 2 guys and now I have 2 guys on the board that you can't do anything with. And I just don't. That hasn't been explored enough with the cards in the way that control just murder that guy has been explored.
There are only.
Is that why?
Go, Ian.
Just a quick question. Is that why Vader JTL is probably a good counter to that strategy? Because you're playing
but I don't think it's good enough.
2 drops.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's fast enough to outdo that face, but it does. It's probably the best bet against it.
Yeah, I think the Vader yellow deck is probably the best aggro deck right now.
I was about to say
exclusively because of that.
I think the only thing that beats what you're describing, Trey, there's only 2 decks in the field that I can think of that would do it. One is your Vader, Vader yellow, JTL Vader yellow, the speed, the TIE Factory, right? And the other one is Kylo Tarkentown, right? Double red Kylo, he plays so low to the ground, and almost everything costs 3 or less. It's very easy for him to just vomit out units. And sure, you can kill one, but he doesn't care.
I've been playing that deck hardcore for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot, but I can pick up on a deck, and it can't beat the current decks. It can't beat Kylo Ren. The new blue Kylo.
Oh, the new blue one. Yeah.
It has Sentinel. Can't beat it.
In other words, you can't beat him before 7, and once he's on the board, you're not getting around him.
You're not getting past him.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Kylo Ren, and it is the Supremacy Sentinel Flyer, the 3/3 guy that's the flying Sentinel guy.
Oh, the blue TIE Fighter. Right.
Yeah, the blue TIE Fighter. That one stops you cold. They play that on turn 2. Your 3/3/3/2 guy doesn't matter, doesn't get through. Like if you play a space guy, they stop it with a Sentinel. If you play a guy on the ground, they're gaining life, they're killing your guys, and you just can't kill them fast enough.
Could be. There's a part of me that hates to agree with you, but I think they have. And what swung me to that opinion was watching the Austin PQ, because it wasn't until I watched Joel sat down and he had 3 of every murder unit, the X unit card in his deck. I think Vanquish might have been the exception, but certainly he had Rivals Fall, No Glory, Power of the Dark Side, Takedown. Now we've given Shatterpoint to Force decks that want to mess with it. Out the Airlock is still technically that kind of a card, even if it's a little different, but it's a very similar type of card. So it's like there's so many now. I just don't know how it's so easy to just hold somebody off all game until basically it's like, oh, you still have, we've been playing for 15 minutes. It's now the 10 resource round. You have never attacked me once. All your units have died. And now I'm going to play an Annihilator and laugh. And while you lose the game, right? That kind of thing.
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, we'll see. Do I have a third? I don't know. I should have had a third. I should have thought this through myself, but I didn't. I just came up with this.
Excited about us. I gave you a third one. That was kind of in the vein of what you're railing against control.
Kind of. I still think actually. Okay, so here's mine. Right, I'm on the other end of the force throw thing from you personally. I know yours was force throw won't win. It won't be impactful. My hot take is
I think it'll be impactful.
Okay.
Just won't win.
Okay. Well, fair enough. But my hot take is that force throw is going to ruin enough people's games and enough people's enjoyment of the game that they're going to ban it in August. That's my hot take. That's my prediction, because
all right,
we're about to embark upon the Force Throw Olympics 2025. And I just there's a whole bunch of people on the downstream side of it that are just not going to be happy that this card continues to exist and warp what they're allowed to play. For only one, it's not like Force Lightning, right? Like I've been playing a lot of Villain Red, right? I have Vader built. I've been playing Kylo. I've been messing around with new Darth Maul a little bit. I know, who could have predicted it?
Totally out of character.
But I know, but like I had a guy playing Avar Kriss against me the other day, and he flipped out Avar Kriss into Vader. Vader was on the board. Avar Kriss comes out. They're literally the only 2 units on the board, and I just went pay 1 and then pay boop 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 boop, pay 6 more, and Force Lightning Avar Kriss. Just die. But I had to spend a legendary card and 6 resources to defeat her, as opposed to, I paid 1, threw a card out of my hand, and blew her away. Whatever. That's just so ridiculous that that's even a thing. So that's mine. That's mine. So, Ian, you and I are going. Tell me about
Wes, you think
go.
Wes, I really believe you think every game is going to end with a force throw.
No,
win.
Okay,
Force.
no, it's not, Ian. It's not. But here's the thing, and we all know this because we're all human. People don't remember the good times; they only remember the bad times. Okay, they're going to remember every single time that their opponent dunks them with a force throw, and over the course of the weekend, it's going to build up to the point where, by the time it happens enough, they're going to be pissed, and they're going to make their case known to FFG, who's going to be all over the place at this event. That's my hot take. So,
And then
We'll
we'll
see.
get an article a year from now about why they banned it, and they'll be like, just spending one card to force your opponent to, and one resource to force your opponent to discard one card. That was just too powerful, and so we had to ban it. They'll just completely misunderstand why it's bad.
Yeah. So Ian, what decks are you taking? Tell me about what you're taking to the event.
So I'm taking Vader JTL to cart or to
Dun dun dun.
points
dun,
farm,
dun, dun. Let's
ticket
go.
farm.
Okay.
To ticket farm hardcore.
Yep.
When I get bored, I'll probably play Yoda, or when I feel like playing Yoda, so I'm bringing my Yoda deck.
You got Yoda. It's Yoda Data Vault, right?
Data Vault. Yeah,
Okay.
Yoda Data Vault.
And what's your last
nice
one?
Little updated version. And I'm bringing Qui-Gon Red.
Sorry,
discard.
you played Qui-Gon with me the other night. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not great, but when it works, it's a lot of fun.
Doesn't.
It's
matter.
like fun to clear the board out, but it's fun
Exactly.
to play. And I pulled the showcase literally today. So
that was so
fun.
cool. That is a gorgeous showcase too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like it a lot.
It's pretty. That being able to chain Ahsoka like that is really irritating. Just FYI, you got to be careful. Otherwise, your opponent might just like punch you. So just keep that in mind, okay?
Cool.
I'll only do that to friends, because if you do that to strangers, they literally might just smash your face into the table. It's kind of mean.
They'll call the police.
I'm obviously bringing Kylo, because that's probably going to be my main way to Kylo Tarkentown, my main way to grind out pods. Just super quick aggro. Like, hey, either I live or I die in 8 minutes. Let's just move on.
So I have a question for you about Kylo, since I said I've been playing it pretty hardcore.
Okay.
Do you have any Saboteur in there?
Yes. Guavian Antagonizer.
Saboteur. Okay. I would consider putting something in there to push somebody through a blue Kylo as a finisher.
Okay.
Precision fire or something like that.
I used to play 3 copies of Infiltrator's Skill, so I could literally make anything on the board a Saboteur.
Okay.
And plus, it was one of the only other red upgrades that added health. Now, since then, they have printed, obviously, more lightsabers. At the time I was doing this a lot, Fallen Lightsaber was it, and Battle Fury. So the Fallen Lightsabers are out, Battle Fury's in. I don't currently run the Infiltrator's skills, but it's not a bad call. They're great cards. So, yeah, okay, I could see it.
I think you can push Kylo through with a couple of more Saboteur cards.
Okay, all right. So Kylo Tarkentown, 100% going. Phasma ECL, just because that deck is another one that's fairly fun to play and usually goes fairly quickly. I can usually either win on win on the 6 resource round, or at least push them to the point where past the 6 resource round they are way on the back foot and trying to find their way back in, and it's tough. And then I'm taking Vader, old Vader Red, like SOR Vader Red, just because it's a passion project, and I'm eventually going to get the showcase, and I want to have something to play with it. I'm taking my Twin Sons deck right now. Ian, I know you said you're building one. What Twin Sons are you building?
So I'm building. I went back with GI and Krennic, and then
Krennic, Inquisitor, Krennic. Solid
yeah,
combo.
I'm playing a red base, so that when I get the Vader showcase, I can play Inquisitor Vader, just because I want to play with the showcase.
Okay, I love it.
Literally no other reason. But that's what I'm going back to.
Okay.
It played really well at DL until I became Target Central 101 in every Twin Sons game, because Trey's pointing at Ian. Let's get Ian. No. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going back to it, and it's fun to play. So,
Okay.
should be good.
So I'm taking 2 more decks. I've got Mace Force Red. I'm a double red guy, apparently. I've been messing around with this one. There was that Mace deck that placed really well in Richmond. And I forget the name of the gentleman on YouTube who posted his video of that. I built that. I played around with it. I kind of liked it. And then I've sort of adapted it to the new base, the new Force base, and then some of the new units like Ki-Adi-Mundi and the new Mace. Because you now have 3 versions of Mace. You have the Leader Mace, the Uncommon out of this set, and the Legendary out of set 1. It's just fun. And then Ginger wanted something to play. We were talking today. She's like, I need you to build me something that I can mess around with. So I looked around and built her an Obi Blue deck, just like new Obi, like Force Obi. There's so many good.
Oh, that would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, this is probably not that difficult to learn. It's fairly straightforward to play. She knows how to play TCGs. She's just not familiar with all the mechanics of Unlimited. But she'll have that deck to mess around with, and we'll do that. And then my Twin Sons deck that I'm bringing is Tarkin Iden Red. It's just like, oh, look, is it Imperial unit? Yes, and it costs 6 or less. Yes, it's in the deck. Like it just smashed it all together into one pile. It's basically that's the theme. It's Imperials because that's me. So So that's what we're taking. But Trey, you've been working on stuff in the lab on your own. Tell me about all of that.
Well, I gotta ask Trey or Wes, how are you
Yeah.
bringing your cards? Are you carry on or are you luggaging?
So
Y'all were having this conversation before we got started.
yeah, that's a good question. And you actually said wait because you have a story to tell us. So I'll answer and then you can tell us your story.
Yeah.
My plan is I was originally going to put them in the suitcase, but then after you made that comment while we were kind of getting warmed up, and I was like, oh no, you know what? I should probably pull the deck boxes out and put them in the carry-on.
If anybody loses my cards, it's gonna be me, Dan.
No, that's
Me!
that's reasonable. That's reasonable. For years, when I'm usually travel carry-on only, but for this event, I'm going to check a bag just because I expect I'm going to have to do it in both directions with fingers crossed. All the
lug
swag,
the prizes home?
all the swag I'm going to come back with, right? Obviously, just dollar bills, y'all.
Just raining the cards.
Just raining in, and so ordinarily I have a heavy steel, an old Rook steel storage case that I would carry that I knew would nothing in there could get damaged. But historically, TSA hates that thing because it's solid. It's steel. Instead, I've swapped over to the soft crates and that messenger bag you saw me showing off on the stream. So what I'll do probably is I'll pack the messenger bag and then I'll take the soft crates out and put them in my backpack and carry that on the plane, like that kind of thing, something like that. All right, Trey.
This event that you're going to, I went to this event for Destiny in 2019.
Okay,
So
the last Destiny World.
The last Destiny World Championships. I went there. And I did kind of what you're doing. I was like, I'm put my deck that I'm taking. I had a deck. I was ready to go. And I didn't just have the deck. It was all blinged out. I had the really nice expensive deck box. I had all the dice. I had the deck itself was super expensive. I had every card that had a promo. I had the promo for it. It was super nice. And I got to the airport and I sat there and I waited on my plane and I'm just fooling around and I'm in love with this deck. And I pulled this deck out and I'm flipping through it and I'm flicking through it. And then I got up and I got on the plane and I got to Minneapolis and I had left my deck sitting in a window on the airport in Houston.
Oh my God.
I would highly recommend put that away.
Oh my God.
Don't tempt yourself to take it out.
No,
you probably won't forget it.
Now.
Oh my God.
You probably won't forget it there, but holy crap, was that painful.
What a horrifying story. Did you lose the whole thing? You never saw it again?
Never saw it again. Called the airport multiple times, tried to look for it. Nothing.
I had
about $500 in cards in that deck.
I don't think I've ever heard that story. That's heartbreaking.
That's brutal.
That is
not only did I lose that expensive deck, but I got there and just didn't have a deck to play.
You had nothing to play.
So I had to throw something together.
God, that hurts.
It was rough.
Oh,
I will definitely.
Be careful.
That hurts.
I will be leaving them in my backpack and just touching my book and headphones. I'm gonna leave my cards in there.
Yikes. Yikes. Yeah. That definitely hurts.
I might throw a deck in my wife's purse just to be safe.
Well, that's the one, and that's one of the reasons that, if I was going to carry everything on the plane, I would have no hesitation putting it in the suitcase because that's what I've done in the past. But because I'm going to check a bag, which I don't normally do, that's actually a fair point that I might should just take the decks out and maybe okay. Oh. Hello, puppy dog. Okay.
All right. Ian's got a visitor.
Okay. All right, Trey. So that's what we're taking to Worlds. What have you been cooking in the lab? Because you were telling us about some of the stuff you were working on.
So for the last week or so, week and a half or so, I did, as we talked about in the last episode, nothing's really speaking to me in this. I've kind of started grabbing random decks that I see online and playing them. I got smashed by Talzin Red a couple of weeks ago at Dragon Slayer, so I played that one. That one seems good. That one just seems really good and fair. It seems like you play a card to do a thing, and that's why I think that one's going to lose to somebody that's just like, I'm not playing fair. I'm killing everything. You're not going to have anything to force throw on me.
What I like
if you force throw me, it's not going to hit anything because I don't have any units out until I drop an Avenger.
What I like about the Talzin Red decks that I've seen is that they have a lot. They're highly flexible. They have a lot of different answers to different things, and I think that gives them a nice. I'm going to go so far as to say gives them a little bit of a leg up. But it certainly gives them a nice, comfortable place in the meta in that as long as you understand all the different card interactions, you can generally find a way to solve or push back against the board position that your opponent is trying to establish for themselves. So it's got a lot of tools.
in a very fair way. In a very
Yeah.
you recognize what your opponent's doing. You try to do something about it. If your opponent's going slower than you, try to go like it's all very fair. I just think control is unfair right now, and unfair beats fair.
Okay.
All right. So some of the other stuff. We had a little $5 tournament last night, and I played against a Kylo red deck. I thought that was very interesting, and so I've been playing
new
with
Kylo.
No.
Old Kylo.
Your deck.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Your
Old Kylo.
Your red Kylo
Okay.
with a red with
Okay.
thermal oscillator, just to try and streamline it a little bit more.
Interesting.
To have fewer cards in the deck.
Okay.
Also at that tournament, I thought it was just an interesting experience that Anthony, Ian's nemesis Anthony, threw a deck together like at the very beginning before the tournament. So he just had like some half cockamamie pile of crap that he was going with. But
well, that's Anthony.
It was in the same vein as what Ian has been trying to do. So they're like two halves. It's like two-faced, where one face turns the other way and it's the terrible one, and then the nice one. And
trying to do with what? With Qui-Gon, the red yellow
Discard.
hero.
The red
discard
yellow
shell.
discard.
Okay.
Abusing the discard.
Abusing the red yellow discard. Okay.
But when Ian and I talked about this and we were discussing it, we were sitting there and we were playing, it just, because sometimes I have blind spots, it never occurred to me to go with a red leader and a yellow base instead of the yellow leader and the red base. And Anthony put together Han 2 with yellow and a force pack and one of the
like a force base.
The force base.
Okay.
And so he and I started looking at that like in the middle of the tournament. It was kind of after the third round, it was kind of over. So we started picking it apart. And I thought it played a lot better than what I think Ian's did, because I think it was like as I was talking to Ian about this earlier. One of the difficulties in this deck is coming up with 2-drops, and Han says, "I don't care about 2-drops. I'm just going to drop 3-drop or 3s."
Yeah, Han don't care.
And and Han does a bunch of. There's a lot of really cool stuff that this deck can do. It's got Sorcerers of Tund is really interesting.
That's a great card for Han.
For 6.
6 shield for 6.
You play it at 5. It takes the 2 damage, then it gets the shield. So you basically get a 6/4 shielded for 2. I mean for 4.
For 5. For 5 resources.
That's not bad. You get to play Mace Windu to deal damage. You get to play Kiadi Mundi to draw cards.
Yeah.
What is it? You have you're not recurring this card, but that's too slow anyway.
Yeah. It's too many actions. It takes away the amount of actions needed in the Qui-Gon deck that I play. It's so many actions, Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And Han is so much faster.
Well,
and so Han's so much faster.
And what I like about that, the Qui-Gon version, Ian, that you've been messing with, to activate Qui-Gon requires you to use that Force token, which means that cheating in a Kiadi Mundi or a Mace, you then cannot subsequently use their game text because you no longer have the Force token if you're bringing them in that way. If you hard cast them the usual way, then no big deal. But if you use Qui-Gon's text to swap one of those guys in, we caught one of the guys caught on stream that you had done that to me, and I missed it at the time too. You used Qui-Gon to put Kiadi Mundi on the board and then drew 2 cards. Technically, you couldn't have done that. So it was like, I didn't catch that at the time, but I caught it on the replay. So I like the idea there.
There's a couple other things that I found really interesting about this deck. It has K2SO that you can cheat in for 3 on the second turn. Then you overwhelm somebody, and it's more discard.
Yep, that's true.
And then you have I have 2 copies of the Anakin that nobody ever played. The 5-drop 6/6 that draws you cards.
That's a great card. Cool. That's a great card.
Oh, coordinate.
The coordinate Anakin.
With coordinate.
That's a really good card.
It's Poe. Crate Dragon.
It's Poe.
Yeah. Sort of. So it plays. Oh, Poe is also in here as well. Is Poe?
Of course,
he's supposed to be in here.
Poe should be in there.
Yeah, he's in here. Plays the Crate Dragon, and I won a game last night on Carabas. This is one of the most fun things I've ever done. Is I won a game on Carabas because I was getting my butt handed to me because I guess he drew cards and he was able to overcome me. But I have I had Han out swinging and I had a Crate Dragon out, and I attacked with both of them. And I played Final Showdown to reset the whole board and attack him for 13 more to win the game. I had him for 26 in one turn. Oh, it was so much fun. So that was fun. So that's one of the decks that I'm looking at.
Final Showdown is double yellow or single yellow?
It's double yellow and 6, so I paid 8 for it.
You paid a lot for it. Yeah, that's expensive.
But it was totally worth it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the other one that I looked at that I had a blast with was Thrawn, the blue double up the when it dies abilities with yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And it has it's just a hard Legacy it is a hard control deck, and it kills everything on the board. It is so much fun. to have you have Legacy Run on the board. So Legacy Run is 5 for a 3/3 in space, but when it dies, you just get to deal 6 damage.
However you choose.
Huh? However
Yeah.
you choose.
Mm-hmm.
You play that at 5. You drop a Chimera at 6. You trigger it, and then you use Thrawn to trigger it again, and it wipes their board. Not only does it wipe their board, but you usually can. I structured it last night where I blew up everything, and I did 1 damage to that guy, which is the Sorcerer of Ton, to pop
Yeah.
his shield.
Yeah.
And then I did the second trigger, went off, and then killed the guy underneath the shielded bit. And so I was murdering shielded guys with the doubled up Legacy Run. It was so much fun. This is a really fun deck to play. But again, it's got merciless contests to kill things, power of the dark side, vigilance to kill things, no glory, rivals fall, super laser blast, all of that stuff to kill people. It's just the Legacy Run with Thrawn is really fun.
I have to go back and read Thrawn again. I don't remember. Oop, hang on a minute. There we go. I don't remember being able to do that.
It says when you use a when defeated ability.
Okay, just when you use it.
Oh,
and Chimera says when played, you may use the when defeated ability of a unit already
Yep.
played. There it is. Okay. Yeah, no, you're correct. That 100% works. I just had never processed it that way. Nice. Okay.
Oh, it's
That's kinda
super
cool.
fun.
That's cool.
Sounds
I like it.
That's the one. I'm going and acquiring all the cards for that one.
Okay. All right. And Trey, you've also been working on revamping your storage, your card storage, you were saying.
Yeah, to hard shift here to something else. So I'm like super intelligence, the wrong word. I'm like autistic. Let's go with
Okay.
that. I am so autistic.
On spectrum.
I am on the spectrum. I my daughter is a little bit as well, but the way that we refer to it is that you are kissed by the autism fairy, just gotten just enough to be useful.
Just a
You
little
can
bit.
still function in society.
Just a
you
hair.
still can interact with people. But yeah. So forever, since Destiny started, my storage for the way that I store my cards has been one big box and everything is alphabetical because it just sits on a shelf. I do all my deck. I don't lay things out to deck build them. I do all my deck building online in whatever SWODB or whatever the Destiny equivalent was. And then I just want the most efficient way to go get the cards
To find
that I
what you need to put it all together.
to put it into a deck and then run off to do it.
Sure.
So that's the way that I've done it up until this week. So I had a confluence of things happen. One of them is I saw someone on the Facebook group who had put his play sets into binders, and his wife had used her Cricut to put like really pretty lettering on the outside that said like Spark of Rebellion or Shadows of the Galaxy or whatever. I thought that looked cool. And then I am also with that. I have a similar cutting thing. I'm very crafty. I do 3D printing and cutting and all that stuff. I didn't want to do that one though. I have a new thing coming in before too long. If you're in the maker community at all, you may have heard about this. It's a U5 Make printer. It is a UV printer for your house. It is like high-end UV printing. Print on anything for your house. It's just you buy it and print it. It's an amazing new printer that prints in UV ink. So I'm excited about. So I wanted to get like a straight black binder to print what I wanted on the outside of it. And then it occurred to me that because when my collection, it's almost like a computer program, the way that I keep my collection. I know exactly, I have like logic rules that every card that goes in my personal collection follows. It is the highest promo that is not a foil. So or the highest version that is not a foil. So it's the regular hyperspace or a regular prestige of that card.
Okay.
And one of every promo.
Okay.
And so like if it has a prestige version and had the weekly packs have the foil version of the regular version, I have one of each of those. And then that's the only thing that I will put in there. If I need some cards, I will just go buy the hyperspace or whatever. Most of the cards in my collection are hyperspace. I only keep 3 of everything, and I keep it in very ordered binder. Like again, autistic. So I have all these pretty cards that I look at when I play, and when I play cards, the happy juice in my head goes off as I'm looking at all this pretty art. But it occurred to me that when they're sitting in a box, it is super efficient, but I'm getting no enjoyment out of this stupid box. It is just sitting on a shelf. It is basically a database. So I thought, I'm going to get these binders and I'm going to put my cards in them. 3 of a card is a play set. 9 pocket pages have 3 on a row. So it's going to very easily, orderly fit into what I got. Yeah.
Looks good, Ian. Looking good. Yeah.
Yeah,
at
but
you.
It's the only way
Anyway.
to do it, man. It's fun to look at all the art.
So I tried to use the ones from FFG, but none of them have enough pages to do a full play set of cards. Like you could put the 3-ring binder version in their, what do they call it? I don't know, the hard case one.
Yeah, they have that
Yeah.
giant, the Cardport XL or something. That's got
That's what it's called.
It's
Cardport
a
XL.
4x4 page or something, right? They're huge.
You have to go buy pages to put in it. I don't want one of those.
It doesn't
I want
come with
one
pages.
that's like bound like a book.
Okay.
And the ones that have the logos on the outside are not big enough to. You need like about 800 cards to hold a full playset.
Yeah.
So I just went to Amazon, bought one of these books for one of these binders that does hold 800 cards for $30, and I got everything in there. So all week long, I have been going through this super organized box that is basically my database of cards and transferring it over
To
one
binders.
by one to the binders. And now when I go to build a deck, I can flip through. It's a little less efficient because now I have to know not just the name card, but what set it was in, but that's fine. I get the joy of being able to look at all these cards side by side as I flip them. And yeah, so it's just like, we talked about a little bit earlier, it is super zen for me to just sit there and manipulate cards, turn on a podcast, and just kind of decompress while I sleeve every card that I have is in a perfect fit sleeve.
Ooh.
So I have to put the new ones in a perfect fit sleeve, and then they go in the binder.
Fancy. Okay.
Now, are your binders organized by alphabet or card number?
Page 1 is all the leaders organized alphabetically. Page 2 is all the bases organized alphabetically. The rest of the binder is every unit, event, and upgrade organized alphabetically, because organizing by card number is dumb. Because you don't look at a card and go, I need card 762 out of this set. I need Kylo Ren's lightsaber. And so it's easy to flip to the Ks. You don't have to sit there and translate in your head what number that goes to. Organizing by card number is dumb, and if you do it, you're wrong.
Well, I organize by card number, so I guess I do
You're
it.
doing
and
it
I'm
wrong.
So-
You're sick.
I
and
tried it. I tried it alphabetical, but like it was hard because I didn't have all the cards. So I
Yeah,
did
you have
it
to
by,
go through and like
Yeah,
leave
so I
holes
did
where
it-
they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't very good at that, so I just
Yeah,
did it by
it was
card
easy.
number. It was easier for me.
So card
So
number
the-
was easiest for me, but the other thing is that now, after all of these months, like I built my streaming overlay setup for Spirit of Rebellion, right? The very first store showdown I ever streamed was Spark of Rebellion, right? Way back at the beginning. Since then, and the easiest way to program that was to organize it by aspect type, right? You guys have seen how I have it organized, right? Blue,
Yeah.
blue, black has a tab. Blue, white has a tab. Blue, straight has a tab. That's exactly how FFG organizes it. That's how the cards are numbered. You start with blue, then you do hero, villain. Villain, hero, neutral. Green, villain, hero, neutral. Red, villain, hero, neutral. So
I don't know how they do it.
I'm just saying that's because I'm now used to every time I go to look for cards, I've spent so much time looking at menus of cards in my stream deck that I almost always know exactly what set it's in, where to go in the binder. Oh, it's yellow neutral. Bam, done. There they all are. Find it. Great, no problem. Easy peasy. So organizing things by card number is so easy for me. It's no big deal.
So the other thing that I've done to keep track of like what I have taken out for, because I have holes where I don't have a copy of this card, so that card has missing spots in the binder. When I pull a card out to go into a deck, I am taking extra crappy regular copies of like Grand Admiral Thrawn and putting it where that card was, so that if I need to flip to where the legacy run is, I flipped over to legacy run because I need a legacy run. I go to that spot in the binder, and then I see 3 copies of Admiral Thrawn. I'm like, okay, I know it's in the Thrawn deck that I have built over here.
Oh,
Okay.
fancy.
I like
Okay,
that. Using leaders to mark. I like that. That's a good idea.
That's why you wanted all those extra leaders from us.
Yep. That's
Okay.
why I asked for extra
Okay.
leaders.
Cool. Well, I got a stack of them downstairs to see you next time I'm over at DL and meet up with you. So cool. My story is not nearly so interesting. I have set binders that I've been using since the beginning, right? Just little zippable set binders that I just keep the sets in, and my rares, legendaries. I keep play sets in there. All the hyperspace units that I collect go in there. You guys know this. The listeners might not. I collect hyperspace space units. I collect play sets of hyperspace space units. Doesn't matter what it is. I collect 3 of them if it's a space unit. I don't care about the foils. Just regular plain old Joe Bob hyperspace. But
Foils are actually a negative experience for me.
well,
As I've gotten older, they're darker. They're
Well,
harder to see. And
and
I have really good vision.
so foils for me, it's more about they always mess up like my deck manipulation, right? Because some of them are pringled and some of them aren't, and it's a mess.
Mhm.
We could do a whole podcast about how FFG has completely borked foils in this game, but that's a different topic. But my struggle has been how do I store my bulk cards, right? When I was in Destiny, it was very easy for me to buy one of those long cardboard boxes and I would put all the commons and stuff, and then all of the dice for that set would go into the box. Of course, the dice only came with the rares and the legendaries. So I made space for the dice in the box with all the commons, and then the binder had everything in it. And when I would set down a build, I needed dice. I just, I knew exactly which box to grab. But here, I had a series of 400 count boxes that I had bought from, I don't even remember what, something else. And I started using those, and I would do like a box of red, blue, and a box of yellow, green, and a box of like black, white, and leaders, black, white, leaders, and bases for each set. So as the sets have gone on, I got to where I had 12, 13 of these things laying around, all marked from different sets and different color combos, and it was driving me nuts. And it turns out BCW, right, who makes those cardboard boxes, they also make like some nice plastic card storage catalogs. And they make one that fits right into my little Kallax unit that I have downstairs in the studio, with 6 drawers in it. And as it turns out, 6 is exactly the number of sets that will always be in rotation for Premiere at any given time. So I bought one of those and got it in, and then I had to pare down the bulk cards I had a little bit, fill up each drawer with, I think I kept like 5 of each leader and 5 of each base in there, and then just a bunch of all the uncommons and a chunk of commons from each color. Filled up the drawers, and so now 5 of the 6 drawers are filled. And the beauty of it is they've all got on the front of them, they all got slots where you can mark. You're supposed to put something in there to mark what it is. Those little cardboard inserts that come in when you get a pre-release kit, you get one of these little cardboard boxes, and it comes with
little box.
Those little cardboard insets in here that have the set art on it. Those fit perfectly in the drawer, and so you know exactly what each drawer is if you recognize the set art. It looks really nice. And then I was able to start cleaning up all of those boxes, and they're still downstairs in the way, but I'll clean them up and store them. Because eventually, as the sets rotate out, I'm going to have to pull those back out and put them back into the cardboard boxes and shove them on a shelf or something. So I didn't want to throw the boxes away, but I also didn't want them cluttering up everything, because moving them around while I'm building decks they take up a bunch of space. It's just a mess. And this way, everything I need when I go to sit down and build a deck, I get my set binders, I have my card catalog of everything, commons and uncommons, and I'm ready to go. I've got everything I need right there to get started. So that's just that took me some time, and it looks much nicer and is much easier to manipulate. I was able to go down there and to put that stuff together for Heather took me about 10 minutes, maybe 15 to build that deck once I had the list together. And it was super easy because everything was right there. I just pull out the right drawer, go through to the color, find the right card I need, easy peasy. So nice and simple. So that's been a nice update. Trey, what is this card design thing you were talking about at the top of the podcast? You were super excited, but I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really following along. So catch me up.
All right. So I've been looking for a way for us to have some sort of interactive play a game or something that's see who can name the most cards from Spirit of Rebellion. I don't know, some game to do at the end of podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them have one of the hosts will have some game, and the other 2 hosts play against each other and see how it goes, and then they win, and it's fun. And yay, that was fun to listen to. I have not been able to come up with something until just now, like in the last day. I have done card design before for Destiny, so I think I am fascinated by card design. And we spoke on the last episode. We talked about or at least I did, talked about some of the episodes or some of the cards that we thought were poorly designed that we would have liked to have seen done better. And so I want this game is not going to be, I'm not putting you on the spot right now, but what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a homework assignment, and you're going to come back to when they do our next episode with an answer to the question. So it's going to span, and then we'll see what you guys come up with, because card design is hard, and you guys need to understand that card design is hard by experiencing it. And 2, it just seems like it would be fun. So we're going to start with the large card. I'm going to give you a whole. All right. So I'm going to give you, it's a couple of cards that I'm going to give you. You can choose either one you want to do. And you're not necessarily going to redesign or fix this card, but you are going to design a card that goes in this spot. So when they do a set, when they design a set, they don't just design a bunch of cards. They have like a spreadsheet that's
Yes.
laid out, and they
Yes.
say we need this many blue cards, we need this many blue white cards,
Right.
we need this many blue black cards,
And here's the
in
cost
blue white
curve.
cards. We need one that costs one that costs two. We need an event that does this sort of thing. We need a unit that does this sort of thing in this hole. So in hole 7, you've got a blue black card that is an event that needs to, I don't know, give somebody a shield or something like that, or protect somebody. That, and then they'll send that off and somebody will design it. So one of the things that I thought last time, was the biggest misses of the set were as good as the Angry Triangles were with Avenger and Relentless and Devastator. The AT-ATs, the walkers that they did were so underplayed, and they were such misses for the most part.
Yeah, the Blizzard one, and then the big blue, the blue black one, and it's not the suppressor.
The blue black one, and what was the other one? Is green?
It's
green
AT-AT suppressor, and then it's like Blizzard Squadron AT-AT or something, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna let you choose either one of them. I'm gonna read you the cards. So in the hole of a blue black card that is an 8-drop that is kind of a high top end finisher.
Okay.
Now you have to remember that this also it can't be identical or too close to what Avenger does at the 9-drop. So
and
you've got to make it fit.
I'll go so far as to say it needs to continue to be a ground unit. These are both ground units. They need to both still be ground units.
Exactly. So this is what it's the 8-drop blue black AT-AT suppressor, and it's currently it says it's an 8/8, and it says when played exhaust all ground units. Never saw play. I want you either that one, or in green black you have the Blizzard Assault AT-AT, and for an 8-drop you get a 9/9 that says when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may deal the excess damage from this attack to an enemy ground unit. So if you attack somebody with the Blizzard Assault AT-AT and you hit a guy that has a 2 toughness with this guy and you have 7 damage, you could just kill something else.
Right.
So I want you to choose one of those cards. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be an AT-AT. It probably should be a ground unit. It just needs to fit in this hole. And I have a big finisher that does something cool that makes people want to play it. So if you were going to redesign Spark of Rebellion, I want you to come back with what you think would be a played card.
Okay.
That would be better than what they did. So that's what
I'll try.
It seems like it's super fun because designing cards is so much fun.
I like
designing cards is telling a story using the game mechanics, and that's so much.
It'll give me something to do on the flight, and I'll actually probably go back and at least refresh my memory on what was done for the Decipher cards for some of those units, right? Because
exciting.
Well,
and if you have enough time, you can do them both.
It's possible. In the old Decipher game, right? I was a Death Triangle enjoyer in that game as well. But in that game, the AT-ATs were very, very good because the way the mechanics of that game worked, the AT-AT was just, in most cases was just a shell. You had to put a separate card in it. A pilot had to go in it. But once the pilot was inside, he was protected from things like blaster fire and lightsaber swings. And in that game, in that era, that was a big deal. Because hitting somebody with a lightsaber, like, seriously impacted their value at the end of a battle, and for reasons that I'd have to explain how the mechanics of it all worked, and I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that as a dark side player, one of the most irritating things that kept happening to me was I would play ground units and they would get hacked up by lightsabers, and then I would get my face smashed in. So for the first time, I could take my little weenie Imperial pilots and put him inside a giant metal shell, and he was big and hard to kill. And that was really, that was super appealing to me. So I was like you, I'm very sad that the AT-ATs from set 1 didn't really land. They don't get a lot of play. I'm happy to look at that. That'll be fun.
So for bonus points, make it work with the rules at the time. But if you want to, just to make it interesting, you can use today's rules. So you have piloting and hidden and so forth. So you can do that as well.
I like that. Ian,
you get bonus points for matching it with the rules at the time.
Ian, you look like you were about to say something.
I can barely play half the cards, but this sounds fun.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Yeah. I'm already kind of thinking ideas in my head too. So
as you should.
I'll come up with something.
Trey's right. Good balanced card design is not easy. It's super easy to create things that sound awesome, but then mechanically are disastrous or grossly overpowered or grossly underpowered, right? I mean, these two cards are arguably, I honestly think the Blizzard Assault AT-AT is not a bad card for what it does. It just doesn't get a lot of play for whatever reason. At that price point, most green villain decks are not looking to the ground anymore. They're looking at Devastator, right? Which is a solid pickup for only a little more resource investment. In that era, Vader was the 7-drop. Vader widened your board a little bit. So
The non-villainy one gets play. The one that heals.
correct. The
Yeah, the one that
reinforcement
heals
walker
gets play.
absolutely gets play. Absolutely
Yeah.
gets play. Yeah, for sure.
That's legit.
For sure.
They made one good one.
I personally think, and no, I won't say that. I'm like you. I'm having ideas, and what I'll do is I'll come back to it. I'll write it down
Yeah,
and
next
I'll
week.
think of, because some of what I might do,
And then, but my question is, who decides who wins?
doesn't matter.
Me,
It doesn't
I'm
matter
the
if it's,
judge.
I don't care.
Okay, you're the judge. Okay, I love that.
Yeah, I'm the judge.
Yeah, I gotta play. I gotta
Yeah.
play for something.
Sure. To me, it's
I
just
guess I'm
more the
playing
fun
for
mental
Trey's
exercise.
approval.
Yeah,
Trey's-
the fun
yeah.
is the fundamental size. But if we have to have a winner, I'll be like, all right, I think this one edges this one out.
There you go. You're playing for Trey's seal of approval. There it is. If you get
Which one is more
the
playable?
thumbs up. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
We should
All
have
right.
a little trophy made up that moves around every week.
What we should also do for fun. Now I'll say this. I would love to see the viewers share their ideas, but not on the comments to this episode, because then you might be either taking some thunder away from what we come up with, or we don't want to be looking
Or
at stealing
helping
ideas.
Ian with ideas.
No.
Let
but
them
also-
comment all they want. Just promise you're not going to look at it.
I can't. I like to
can't
look.
read all the
Well,
comments.
I keep up with the comments because I like talking to folks and knowing that they're watching. However, I'll say this: if you want to do this experiment with us, I think that's great. But save your responses to the
Yeah.
next.
You gotta bring
and-
a card too.
exactly. Comment
So
on the
I can
next
get an
episode.
idea how bad I did.
Comment on the next episode, and we'll all look at everybody's ideas together. Right? That'll be fun. Don't comment on this one, but I like the idea of expanding the challenge and letting everybody else participate. But we'll all share
you
our
guys are-
answers next episode.
That might
You
be
guys
the
are
first
lucky
time in a
I'll
YouTube video
draw a really
ever.
bad-
I think that's the first time in a YouTube video ever where somebody said, don't comment.
No. I want them to comment on this video. I don't want them
Just
to
don't
share their
comment.
card designs on this video. Don't do
We
that.
don't care
Bring
about
me
you
your
and
ideas.
dumb opinions.
Look, if you're going to help Ian cheat, you need to be subtle and do it over like Discord or over a drink in Las Vegas. Okay? Like
Vegas
if you buy him a drink in Vegas and you're like, I'm going to slip you the most amazing card idea so you can make Wes look like an idiot, then you should totally do that. You should totally do that for Ian. Absolutely.
I'm gonna draw a card really bad picture wise. Like looks like a stick figure. It's gonna be fantastic.
Get a little stick figure at like a box with a head and some legs and a little guy hanging
make
below
sure to
a
write, like,
lightsaber.
I'll make sure to write pew pew on it.
Pew pew.
I think there's a joke in there about how that's not all that different than what they did for the final cards in the first set anyway. So,
Ooh, that hurts.
Ooh,
that
that's not
hurts. That hurts.
or yeah,
Oof. Yikes. All right. Well, what else do we want to hit, guys? Anything else? We good?
I think we're good. We went long last time, so we could probably
We went-
wrap this up.
We
sooner.
went way long last time, but we've still got we probably have a little less than 10 minutes, so we probably need to go ahead and call it here, I think.
All right. Well, you guys have fun traveling off to distant and faraway lands to not play cards.
That's right. Oh, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. I
Oh, I'm gonna
guarantee.
play.
He's gonna play. He's gonna be
Again, though,
hungover.
if I'm-
He's gonna come down with his spiked coffee at 10 a.m. being like, I was told there were games, and I'm here for the games.
I'll be a tad more
Wes,
sober
I
than
don't
that.
want you to ever drink because I want your impersonation of what a drunk person looks like to never change. And if you have firsthand knowledge of what you're actually like, it would get better. And I don't want your impersonation of a drunk person.
I don't have any
That
firsthand
was
knowledge.
awesome.
I don't.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've
Oh,
never.
Wes.
Ian keeps threatening. He's like, I'm gonna get you hammered. I'm like, that's not gonna happen.
No, I'm not gonna have you. Just a good buzz.
Oh, no,
you go for a good buzz.
That I've done before, and we'll see. But I've never been so intoxicated that I couldn't walk, couldn't remember what was going on around me. I have drunk enough that I
that's
that I
not fun.
that I
That's not
felt
fun.
that I did not feel well the next day. Right, like I've had a couple of nights where you just feel like garbage. It's like not like puking, but just like your body's just like you did dumb things, and we are not happy with you. I have had that a couple of times. So,
Eat some
all right.
pancakes, power on.
Awesome. Well, guys, listen. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. If you happen to be in Vegas, come up, say hi. Ian has a special challenge. You're supposed to, if Ian, you describe it again because you did it on stream the other night, but tell the listeners here.
So if you come up to Wes in Vegas and you show him that you're a subscriber, he will give you a signed copy of Force Throw.
That's right.
Because he hates that card.
That's
and
right.
I'm making it hand him out to people because I am very evil.
He bought me a stack of Force Throws and was like, "Oh, by the way, I bought you some of your favorite card." So yes, if you guys, this is going to post the morning that we all fly to Las Vegas. So if you catch this over the weekend and we're around, come up, say hi, shake our hands, let us know you listen, and we might be able to get you a little signed to thank you. So that'd be kind of fun.
Tell him it would be better if I were there with him. Just not the same without me there.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. Trey, you and I have actually done events like this before. We did a Destiny Galactic Open in Denver back in 2019. I remember that. That was a great trip.
Oh, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was good times. Back in the days. All right, guys. Well, listen. We will all see you in Vegas. Trey will see you in a couple of weeks. And listeners, come say hi. In the meantime, you guys be safe, and we'll catch you later. Take care.